Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lindy and this is Copper Budgets. On this channel, I track my and my fiance's financial journey as we pay off debt and save up money for some different goals that we have. We have been officially using a zero-based budget for 6 months as of the end of March or April 1st. So I wanted to take this opportunity to sort of create a checkpoint for us to see how much our net worth has grown in the past 6 months, looking at what our liabilities are, what our total assets are, and then calculating our net worth. So I made this little spreadsheet here and I've got all the numbers typed out over here. So I'll just go ahead and go through our different debts. For the assets, I'm just going to list our total assets value, which includes our cash accounts and investments. I'm not including our vehicle or any other personal property in that, in the asset value. So on October 1st, when we first started our financial journey of really focusing in, we had a auto loan on our Prius, a ring loan that was used to buy my engagement ring, my student loan, and we have credit cards. Now our credit cards, we pay off the balance at the end of every month, so we never carry a balance on these. We are very good about using our credit cards and have never carried a balance. So this is something we will continue to use. We are never going to be 100% debt free because we will always have credit cards, but we always have enough in our cash account to pay that off at the end of the month. So for our auto loan on October 1st, it was a balance of $9,071. Our minimum monthly payment is just over $285. So we made that payment in October. So our balance on October 1st was $9,071 and we paid $285 in October. Our ring loan was $971 in October and our payment on that was $243. I guess I should say this was a 0% interest on the ring loan if it was paid off within 12 months, which we did do. And our auto loan, I believe, is 3.09% interest, which from my research is a pretty good interest rate for an auto loan. Student loans are currently at 0% interest until hopefully mid or late this year if they don't get 100% forgiven. And this is the balance of a student loan I took out in 2013, I believe, for when I went to a 4-year university for a semester. And so the balance of that is $923. And we did not make any payments on that. And we have not been making any payments on that. So these numbers are going to stay the same throughout the 6 months. Our credit card balances at the beginning of October were $1,224. And at the end of October, or within October, we paid off that balance. Okay, so our total liabilities, or total debt, on October 1st, not including these payments we made within October, was $12,189. Our total assets at the beginning of October were $9,970, and this pretty much just included two checking accounts, and one savings account that weren't very well organized at all. We basically just sort of had random balances in all of our accounts. I believe this is the month that Adam and I also set up our joint account. which we have consolidated pretty much all of our auto drafts. No, all of our auto drafts and all of our direct deposits go into that joint account. I do have one separate checking account that literally has maybe $100 to $200 in it. And the only reason I keep that account open is because I have a credit card, a Visa credit card attached to that account. Sorry, my cat is gonna join us for just a second. And she's gonna rub against the camera and make it shake. Okay. And some places don't accept Discover, which is our other credit card company. So I keep that account open and just use that for places that don't accept Discover. So that means our net worth, which is our assets minus our liabilities, on October 1st was a negative $2,218. If we included our car or like my engagement ring, our net worth would have been positive, but for purposes of just being able to look at statements and see exactly what our values are, we're not including our personal property. Okay, so for the auto loan in November, after making a payment of $285 plus having interest taken out or added back on, our balance was $8,809. Our ring loan was $728. So again, this is zero interest on this loan here. Student loan was still at $923. And our credit cards, after we had been using them throughout the month of October, were at $1,213. So we added to this debt, but did not have to pay any interest on that. As far as and then our total would have been $11,673. So the payments we made within November was the minimum payment on our car. We paid the $243 on our ring loan. We didn't make any payments on our student loan, and then we paid off our credit cards. As far as our assets go, they increased a good amount to $11,136. And that means our net worth was $537, or excuse me, still negative $537. So we increased our net worth by a good amount just from basic budgeting, which is insane. And this was basically just saying we're not spending any more than $25 a week on personal spending, $80 on groceries, $25 on gas, and then really putting money into sinking funds to cover expenses that we anticipated throughout the year. All right, so in December, the auto loan balance was $8,547. Ring loan was at $486. Student loan was still at $923. And our new credit card balance was $1,120. So you can see our spending is kind of going down each month on credit cards just because we are budgeting. And then our total liabilities would have been total liabilities would have been $11,075. So we made the payment of $285, paid the $243 on the ring, $0 to the student loan, and of course we paid off our credit cards. Our total assets at the beginning of December were $13,697. which means our net worth finally hit a positive of $2,622. And then we got to January, which was a really good month. For the last 3 months of the year, the first 3 months of our budgeting journey, we weren't really focused on getting our debt paid down, just because I felt like our interest rate was pretty good. We could easily afford our minimum payment on the car, and we were more focused on getting my tuition fund up and running, increasing our emergency fund, those sorts of things. But in January, we sort of switched focus. We had been setting aside money for a down payment and for our wedding. But in January, we switched focus to focus more on getting our debt paid down. So on January 1st, our auto loan was at $8,283. Our ring loan was at $243, which means that's our last payment would be in January. Student loan was still at $923, and our credit cards were at $761. So we really did not spend a lot of money in December for some reason. And I think that's because we were at family's house, so we weren't spending a lot of money on groceries, going out, all that sort of stuff, as we were more at home in December, meaning our beginning balance on January was lower. So our total liabilities were $10,211. So in January, instead of making our minimum payment on our auto loan, we decided to pull the money out of our wedding sinking fund. I believe that was in January. That may have been in February. I think what we did in January was pull our emergency fund was about at like 4 to 5 months of expenses, and we decided to drop that down to 3 months of expenses and take the difference and apply that to our auto loan. I believe that is what we decided to do. So on our auto loan, we made a payment of $1,785. The ring loan we just paid off in January. Student loans we did not make any payments towards. And our credit cards, of course, we paid off in full. Our total assets at the beginning of January were $14,460. So that's before we made these payments. And our net worth was at $4,249. So at the beginning of February, our auto loan dropped significantly to $6,519. Our ring loan was now at $0. Student loan was still at $923. And in January, I took a trip to Boston. So our credit cards were higher at $2,015. Yeah. And our total liabilities were $9,457. Total assets were at $17,371. So I got a good chunk of Christmas money that increased our assets, but then I spent that on the trip to Boston, which is reflected on our credit card balances. And then in February, our payments on the auto loan, we were able to put $2,181. We did not need to make any more payments on the ring. We didn't make any payment toward the student loan, and of course we paid off our credit cards. So that means our net worth was the net worth at the beginning of February was $7,914, which still increased a lot, which is good to see. Then in March, which was just last month, at the beginning, our auto loan was at $4,356. Again, ring loan at 0, student loan at $923, and our credit cards were at $1,219, which I feel like is a pretty standard balance for us, as you can see from the months that are relatively equal. Our total liabilities dropped to $6,570. Our total assets were $19,284. And our net worth was at $12,715, which is another big jump there, which is really amazing. I think this is when we got our tax return. Yeah, we got our tax return at the end of February. So that means in March, our assets increased a lot. All right, so that means our payments in March, we put an extra $1,040. Sorry, not extra. We put our normal $285 plus an additional, I think it was $755 towards our auto loan. Again, no payments here or here. Paid off our credit cards. So at the beginning of April, on April 1st, our liabilities, we had $3,326 on our auto loan, which is a huge decrease, almost $6,000 paid off from what it was on October 1st. Again, nothing in the ring loan, still the $923 on student loans, and our credit cards were at $1,114, meaning our total liabilities were $5,363, which means we cut those in half from what they were at the beginning of October. Our total assets increased to $20,214, which is crazy. Meaning our total net worth is $14,851. We have not made any payments yet in April, so all of these are just sort of sitting for now. We won't make any payments towards the ring loan, obviously, nor towards our student loan. And then we will end up paying off our credit cards as well, but not sure how much we'll be putting towards the auto loan this month. But those will all be reflected in our May breakdown. So what I wanted to see is our net worth started at $2,218, and we got it up to $14,815 in just 6 months of hardcore budgeting, without even focusing too much on getting our debt down to 0. We were still able to increase our assets more than double and decrease our liabilities by more than half, which is crazy. And our total net worth change was an increase of $17,069, which is insane. I believe in total our income, which includes Christmas money, other gifts, tax return, everything, was just under $30,000. So that means we were still able to, we spent, how do I explain that? So I believe it was like $29,000 and some change. and we were able to set aside $17,000 of that to increase our net worth, whether that was paying down debts or increasing our assets. And then the difference is what we sort of spent out. So that's like our bills, groceries, spending money, sinking funds, all that sort of stuff. So, sorry, sinking funds, money we spent from our sinking funds. So that's insane. To have started with a negative balance and have over $14,000, that if we sold everything, paid off everything, we would still have $14,000 in the bank, which is amazing. We're hoping to get our auto loan paid down, I believe, by October, if not sooner. It's looking like we will be able to pay that off sooner, which is crazy. As soon as our student loans are out of forbearance, I have plenty of money in my tuition fund to just go ahead and knock that out completely. And then that will really be our only outstanding debt. Again, we'll continue to pay off our credit cards at the end of each month. So at that point, our net worth is just gonna continue to grow exponentially, because we'll be able to be putting money just straight into savings rather than having to pay off debts. So with all of that said, thank you so much for watching. I really encourage you guys to follow the zero-based budgeting method, just because it really works. When you are assigning a job to every single dollar, you're less likely to just have an ambiguous amount that you can spend in the month without really thinking about your future expenses and other things that are going to be coming up. So encourage you to get started on this journey. There's a great community here on YouTube. It's just very supportive. There's a lot of great information. You can really make it work for you and your life, what your needs are, what your wants are. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.